Welcome back to Between the Lines with Kalen. Last week, we watched a massive new business conglomerate called TRG, or the Remington Group, roll into Emerson Grove with big plans, bigger muscles, and an absolute refusal to keep their shirts buttoned. But this week, the professional and the personal are about to collide at the local watering hole, the Chain Gang Bar. Our girl DJ is riding high after giving her toxic ex-boss the boot, and she heads out for drinks with Roxy to celebrate. Not only does she find her crush, Mr. Blue Eyes himself, but she also accidentally ends up rubbing elbows with the big boss Remy, who just happened to have left her a voicemail about a job interview. Talk about small world plot twist. Grab your popcorn, folks, because DJ went out looking for a little fun, but she's about to walk right into a room full of ex-military security experts, some major romantic chemistry, and a whole lot of unexpected drama. Let's dive into Chapter 20 and see how this bar night unfolds. Chapter 20. Just what I needed to get out of my head after today, Roxy's fitness class. After I met with Jonathan this afternoon, my afternoon rocked. I shuddered my true self shortly after I started working for the Andersons. It was the only way to survive in that family business. I didn't realize how much I had changed myself to fit in until my true self was unleashed today. It felt awesome and truly empowering. I returned to my home office, also known as my kitchen table, and I had such a productive afternoon. I finished a promotional project that I had been working on and started some future planning. As empowered as I was feeling, I was still feeling a bit lonely. So I decided to join Roxy's fitness class again this afternoon. Truth be told, I was also hoping to see Mr. Blue Eyes again, and I was not disappointed. He and his group of hotties filed into the room seconds after Roxy started the class. By the end of the class, I was wet in places that had nothing to do with the sweating from Roxy's workout. Fuck, those guys are gorgeous, and them moving to the front of the class so we could always all watch them flex and stretch was better than any porn video on the market. The hotties were all grouped by the doorway out of the fitness room. As usual, I hung back to chat with Roxy after the class. As we were leaving the room, Mr. Blue Eyes and his friends stopped us to make introductions. We chatted for a bit, and Kory, aka Mr. Blue Eyes, asks if we'd be interested in joining them at the Chain Gang Bar in an hour for a drink or two. Hell yeah, we will be there. I head home to shower and change, and as I grab my car keys out of my purse, I notice that my phone is blinking with a message. Before I start my car, I retrieve the message and listen to it. It's a guy named Remy at the Remington Group. He had a chat with Manuel about my work and is interested in setting up a meeting to discuss a potential work arrangement. I've never heard of the Remington Group, but I'm curious. If Remy knows Manuel from the Gold Hearts, it's definitely legit. It's the perfect trifecta of a day. It starts off with me putting Jonathan in his place, which places me in the right frame of mind for a fabulously successful and productive workday, followed by a great workout with Roxy, and then an invite to join the hotties for drinks at the Chain Gang. Holy crap, the only way this day could get better would be if Mr. Blue Eyes asked me out on a date. Fingers crossed. I get home quickly and jump in the shower. Before I leave to pick up Roxy to go out for drinks, I call Remy and leave him a message with my availability for the meeting. Whoop, whoop, let's go have some fun. As Roxy and I enter the bar, we can't miss that the guys have beaten us there already. They have taken over the whole back corner. Before we can order our drinks at the bar, Mr. Blue Eyes saunters up to escort us back to their group. I notice immediately that there are a few more in attendance than I had met at the gym. Roxy has already met them all because they're working out of the offices at the fitness train. Kory, aka Mr. Blue Eyes, introduces me to the whole gang again. Just as Kory finishes the intros, 2 new hotties join the group. And last but not least, I would like to introduce you to the head of our group, Remy, and his sidekick, Blaze. Blaze immediately hip-checks Kory out of the way and wraps his arms around me for a full-on seductive hug as he whispers in my ear, "Sweetheart, don't let your adventures start with Kory. I can introduce you to adventures you haven't even fantasized about yet." My sexual fog lifts for a moment and I interrupt Blaze. "Hang on a minute. Like Remy as in the Remington group?" Remy quizzically nods, so I continue. "You just left a message on my phone. I'm Dawn Janine DeSoda, DJ." Blaze immediately steps back from the seductive hug and apologizes. I guess that means I have to stay a tad professional this evening. Roxy and I both burst out laughing. Not sure what you and Remy want to chat about, but trust me, the hug was wonderful. Now everyone is laughing except Kory. Oh, please, DJ, don't encourage him. Remy and Blaze and I confirm a time to meet the following day at Antonio's and save the business chat for them. To say that this day is serendipitous is quite an understatement. Remy and Blaze keep Roxy and me entertained with stories about all the guys and their backgrounds. The guys are not only hot as hell, but each is talented in their own right. I find out that Kory's a former military officer, UFC champion, MMA fighter, and the top security specialist for the Remington group. No wonder his body is ripped. He is ranked top in mixed martial arts. Obviously, these guys only come to Roxy's classes to pick up ladies. Although Kory doesn't compete anymore, Remy said that he works out several hours a day to keep in top shape. Blaze is hilarious. I can't quite figure him out. He is very flamboyant and funny, but there is a deep something about his eyes and the way he watches people. And he is smart. I swear that man's brain is a big, huge computer chip of knowledge. Blaze and Remy excuse themselves as Kory slides in the booth beside me, and across from us, in slide James and Austin. Kory reintroduces us, and we find out a little bit more about James and Austin and their specialties. These two are most definitely a couple. The sexual chemistry between them is palpable. Roxy and I are having a great time with these guys. She is so lucky that she gets to work with a great group like this. I really miss being part of an organization. Not that I had that kind of community and camaraderie with the Andersons, but I had it with some of the other employers that I worked with. Now that I'm working solo at my kitchen table, I realize that I might need to figure out some professional networking to keep me sane. My mind snaps back to the present when I see James and Austin's faces light up. I turn my head to see what they're looking at, and in walks Nala. Holy shit, could these 2 guys possibly be the 2 that she hooked up with the night before last? I've never seen Nala with a bigger smile than yesterday morning when she did the walk of shame into my kitchen office and told me about her sexcapades from the previous night. James slides out of the booth and gives Nala a full contact body hug that makes my lady parts tingle. Nala slides in next to Austin, and his greeting for Nala leaves my lady parts wet. Holy shit, these 2 are definitely the ones that hooked up with her. Nala, Roxy, and I tell the guys about our friendship. More of the Remington group joins us in the corner of the bar. There is more fun than I have had in the last 5 years combined. Remy and Blaze didn't stick around long, but I'm stoked about our meeting tomorrow. I can't even imagine what it could possibly be about. Maybe some marketing for their group. Not sure, but it has my interest piqued. Watching James, Austin, and Nala sitting across from us is eroticism at its finest. The chemistry between them is off the charts. Nala was not exaggerating when she was describing their night together. Between having Kory's hot body by my side, his arms stretched across the back of the booth but laying across my shoulders, and watching the play and banter between Nala and her hotties, I'm scared that my lady parts are going to leave a huge wet spot on the seat. There is a workout for Bob when I get home. I hope I have some fresh batteries in the drawer. Then again, maybe I can seduce Kory into coming home with me tonight. Then Bob can have a night off. Ooh, I like that idea. Kory leans in closer and whispers in my ear. Can you let me in on what you were just thinking about? I want to be the one responsible for that smile. Little does he know, he is the one responsible for that smile. Well, him and the porn scene playing out across the booth from us. Nella and the guys finally realize that there are others sitting at the booth with them, and they join the conversation, asking Roxy how her classes have been going. Roxy's fitness classes have always been popular, but since TRG has taken over ownership of the gym, attendance has skyrocketed. Roxy tells us about the new classes that are starting next month, and I can see how excited she is. Although she always loved her career, for the first time ever, she has a passion that I've never seen. Makes me think of my own situation. When I worked for the Andersons, I barely got my ass out of bed every day to make it into work. My work was undervalued and underappreciated. Since I have ventured out on my own, my passion is back as well. My clients continually ask about my ideas and genuinely appreciate and value the work I'm doing for them. I get up every morning excited for the day. Roxy and I have talked about this. We were barely functioning before, and now it's like we have a new lease on life. Even with all the scary shit that Jared put me through, I'm so grateful that I have ended up where I am and anxious to see where the next few months go. Nella asks me if I had any run-ins with Jared lately, and that prompts Kory to ask for more details. Kory knows nothing about my life other than I'm in marketing. I don't want to bore everyone with my story, but they just won't let me go with the abbreviated details. Kory's body tightens beside me. He seems extremely bothered by what I'm sharing. DJ, what are you doing for added security against Jared? Nothing, Kory. I don't think he'll bother me anymore. He was arrested and charged that night. I'm so grateful that Butch was home and made it to my place to help me out. I'm not sure if Jared would have hurt me or not, but he definitely scared me. DJ, you have to continue to take his threats seriously. I really don't think he will bother me anymore. Honestly, Kory, I had lunch with his dad today, and I told him in no uncertain terms that I'm not coming back to work for them, and that I'm not signing the contracts back to them. He wasn't happy with me, but Jonathan is not violent. Jared lost his job at the agency, so he'll no longer have an interest in whether or not the contracts belong to me or the Anderson agency. Really? I believe I have seen the last of Jared Anderson. And don't forget, I have a protection order against him. Legally, he has to stay away from me. Kory looks angry. I'm about to ask him why when Butch comes up to our booth. Hey, everyone. DJ, I've been trying to reach you all evening. You need to be better about answering your phone. I wanted to let you know that last night on my way home, I drove by your apartment, and there was a truck parked facing your unit that I didn't recognize with someone in the driver's seat. By the time I made a second drive by the car, the vehicle was gone. I'd Cam go through the security footage from around your apartment, and there was no activity, but that prick has probably figured out the range of those cameras, and he's smart enough to stay out of view. Butch goes on to admit that he doesn't know if it was Jared, but he was overly suspicious that it may be. Butch, I am very grateful for you looking out for me, but I honestly believe Jared will leave me alone now. I'm not worried. Kory looks like his head's going to explode. What am I missing here? Is he angry that Butch stopped by our table? Maybe he doesn't like the imposition. Perhaps he's thinking that getting to know me isn't worth his trouble. Yikes, what started as a great evening full of potential is turning into a shit show thanks to me and my drama. I need to turn this around. Sorry. Or I'm going to lose Kory before I even have him. And boy, do I want him. While my head is going through the various scenarios, Nala takes the opportunity to introduce Butch to the rest of the table. Kory invites Butch to pull up a chair at the end of the booth, and he orders him a drink. Kory asks Butch about his past and background, and of course his workout routine, because Butch is one big muscled motherfucker like Kory. I guess it's a guy testosterone thing. After the muscled measuring is over, Kory starts to ask Butch more about Jared, and I can see that he is upset about it. I need to stop this conversation now. Talk about a mood killer. I'm not letting Jared interfere in any part of my life going forward. I don't work with the douchebag and his family anymore, and I don't want to spend any time rehashing the past. I would like to move forward. Straightforward to Kory. All right, guys, enough of this conversation. Butch, thank you for letting me know, and I will be more aware of cars in my parking lot going forward, but I'm not going to live in fear. James reaches across the table and grabs my hand. Sweetheart, in case you weren't aware, Kory is our head of security for TRG, ex-military, and a trained MMA fighter who is interested in you. Turn your head and take a look at that face. That is not the face of someone who is going to let this ride. Speaking to Roxy, Nala, and me, James goes on to say, now that we are friends, your safety matters to all of us, and you need to get used to it. Kory reaches over and seductively places his hand on my chin and turns my face so that we're facing each other. DJ, in case you haven't noticed, I'm very attracted to you, and I plan on spending more time getting to know you. I'm very interested in everything about you, and that includes any potential threats to your safety. Please trust me to take care of it. This situation with Jared will be investigated by me and my team. Butch, if that's okay with you, I would like to connect with you first thing tomorrow morning and gather more intel on the situation. Butch reaches his hand across the table to shake with Kory, and a smile lights up his face. Man, I couldn't be happier to have someone else keeping an eye on DJ. I love her like a sister and will welcome any assistance on this, but I want to be included, not replaced. No offense, but you guys just walked into town, and I don't know you. I won't step back from what I have been doing for DJ, but I would welcome extra assistance. Kory accepts Butch's handshake and wholeheartedly agrees. That just makes me respect you even more, Butch. I get that we are all new to your town, but our group is here with the intention to make Emerson Grove our home and a place where our business can grow. Kory pulls out his phone and sends it off a text. DJ, I just texted a member of my team who will be on security outside your apartment tonight. I'll take you home, meet him there, and we will do a quick look around. He will be parked outside for the night. Before I can state any objection, Kory gently places his index finger over my lips. I'm doing this whether you want me to or not. After I meet with Butch tomorrow and have a chance to do some investigation, we'll decide how to deal with this potential threat going forward. Please let me do this for you. I want to object, but my heart is melting at a level of concern and care that Butch and my new friends have for me. Roxy elbows me from the other side and tells me not to be my usual stubborn self and accept the support. I guess she has been worried about me too. At the moment, there appears to be no way out of this for me, but on the plus side, it means that I get to see Kory more. My lady parts are back to doing a happy dance. Butch also seems pleased with the outcome of the conversation. He pulls out his phone and asks Kory for his contact info so he can forward everything he has on Jared. Police report, pictures, security camera footage, and the stuff that Cam retrieved from the system. Butch finishes his drink and excuses himself. He confirms a meeting time with Kory for the next morning and says goodnight. James, Andrew, and Nala follow shortly after Butch. I think they are taking their sex party to a private venue. Lucky lady. Wow, 2 guys, I can't even imagine. Kory receives a text and asks if I'm ready to leave so we can meet a security guy at the apartment complex. We walk Roxy to her car and Kory follows me home in his truck. Figures, big muscle man drives big powerful truck. Classic cliche. I pull my car into my parking spot in front of my apartment. Before I can even remove my keys from the ignition, one of the most stunning men I have ever encountered is opening my door to help me out. Trey, who looks like he was birthed from the union of gods, offers his hand to help me out. Are all the men at Remington Group this breathtakingly attractive? Is this for real, or is this some kind of weird DNA cloning, cyborg, space aliens, witchcraft? Has one of them cast a glamour spell? Do I really need to analyze this to death or just enjoy the attention of these men and store it in my memory bank to use when I'm lying in bed alone and depending on Bob for my orgasms? Kory arrives a few minutes behind. He has taken some time to drive around the block, doing whatever it is that security men do. When he arrives, Trey has me giggling like a schoolgirl. This man is not only dangerously handsome, but he is the quintessential flirt. The guys do a walk around while I go inside to deal with the bellowing cat, who is slightly pissed that his dinner has been delayed tonight. As I open the door, Bandit stretches up the side of my leg to be picked up. We have a little cuddle, and then he jumps down and sits by his bowl, which is still full of food, but he wants his wet food that he gets at meal times. Finicky furball, but I love him. A few minutes later, Kory and Trey are walking into the apartment. Bandit immediately stops eating and comes to check them out. Normally, Bandit ignores guests, except for Butch, whom I think he loves more than me. Just a warning, guys, Bandit can be an asshole. Not a minute later, Trey reaches down, picks him up, and Bandit snuggles into his neck for cuddles. I think Bandit is enjoying all these male visitors as much as I am. Kory runs me through where Trey will be, and they enter Trey's number into my phone in case there's a problem. Then there is just Kory and me, and Bandit, who has now turned his attention to the one man left in the room. Who's the attention whore tonight? DJ, are you comfortable with Trey? If not, I can ask someone else or stay here myself. I make a gesture of wiping drool off my chin and smile at him. Who would not be comfortable with that man? Maybe I could. Before I can finish my sentence, I'm being consumed by the most erotic kiss I've ever had in my life. His lips are gentle and warm and envelop mine. He moves his lips across mine and he nips at my bottom lip. His tongue roams across, asking for entrance, which I give. Our tongues explore and the passion explodes. A moan escapes and he tightens his arms to pull me closer. My breasts are tight against his muscular chest. He pulls away slightly and looks into my eyes before he pulls in for another exploration of my mouth. When the kiss ends, he pulls me in for a hug that encases my whole body. I'm just fucking melting. There is so much undeniable passion in that kiss. I feel his hardness, but I already know that he will be a gentleman tonight. I entered my contact info into your phone when I entered Trey's, so if you need anything, please call. You can sleep safe knowing that Trey will be out there. I can't help myself. I look him in the eyes and put on my sexy flirt. After that kiss, I am feeling quite uncomfortable. I may have to call Trey in to help me out with that. Kory smacks my ass and laughs. Trey already knows my interest in you. I have trusted him with my life in the military, and I trust you could walk out to his vehicle naked and seduce him, and he would go home and take a cold shower. Sorry, babe, but he's true to me, and he will protect you with his life. But he won't even give a tiny bit of inappropriate attention to you. Your cat may get many cuddles, but sweetheart, you will have to wait for me to finish what we have started here tonight. And trust me, it'll be worth the wait. After another kiss, that should come with a warning label, he leaves me standing there, nipples in a hot knot, brain fogged, and hornier than hell. And that, my friends, is how a casual happy hour transforms into a full-on high-stakes security detail. You have to love the energy of the TRG group. 1 minute DJ is laughing over drinks, and the next she's being assigned an elite overnight bodyguard named Trey, who apparently looks like he was birthed from the union of gods. Honestly, DJ is starting to wonder if this company is a business conglomerate or a high-end cloning experiment. Even her cat Bandit, who is usually a total critic, completely folded and went in for cuddles. But the absolute highlight of the night? That parting kiss from Kory. The kind of kiss that genuinely should come with a warning label. He makes it crystal clear that while his team is guarding her apartment, he's the one who plans on winning her heart. DJ wanted to move forward, and she just got propelled into the fast lane. Next week, DJ has her official big meeting with Remy and Blaze at Antonio's. Will she secure the professional partnership of a lifetime, or will her new overprotective security detail steal the show? Thank you for tuning in to Between the Lines with Kalen. Hit that subscribe button. Leave a comment. Let me know if you think Kory's security plan is a bit much or total romance goals. And I will see you all next Sunday. Have a great week.